Hey, it is your girl Pusher. If you're not pushing forward, you're moving backwards. I need you all to do me a favor. Let me know that you can hear me because I could not hear the intro. So please tell me if you can hear me. I don't want to start talking and y'all like, what? So I need somebody in the chat. Tell me if you can hear me. Great, excellent. Thank you. Welcome forward ever, backwards never. And because I am in a giving mood, who is that? Miss Raven, you will win. You have been selected to win a monetary gift. Thank you. Forward ever, backwards never. You were the first person to put that in the chat. At least I noticed it from you. So I will be offering you a monetary gift just for remembering forward ever, backwards never. Before we get started, I'm working on a few platforms on this evening because many individuals reached out to me on different platforms. So on this evening, because I know that I have people in different spaces, I have opened it up. So I am streaming on multiple platforms today. We're going to get through this. I am going to try to take my time on this evening. However, greater the pain, greater the passion. And so if I get a little excited, please excuse me. I am activating my faith as I am operating in my healing. And it is something worth being excited for because I am still in the land of the living. So if I get a little excited on this evening, I will not apologize. In my Kevin Gates voice, I'm so not sorry. However, we're going to get through this, family. We are welcome. I thank you all for tapping in. I hope you brung a friend, phoned a friend. I hope you shared on your platform with your network of people on this evening, as I have asked you all to do on last week, to invite someone. There is a different word on today. And because I am in my teaching bag, feeling a need to teach through my process. So what I will be doing again is walking you through my healing process. At some point, we got to put our healing in action. Yes, please. Yes. Thank you, Raven. See, that's why you are getting a monetary gift. Yes. Do not forget to get the likes up. Do not forget to comment. If you are trying to comment and you can't, it's because you have to subscribe. You have to. That is one of the perks. If you want to participate in the chat, you have to subscribe. And for those of you who are already a part of the Pusher family, the Pusher community, as always, I appreciate your diligence. I appreciate your time. You can be anywhere on this good Wednesday. It is feeling nice outside, but you are here with me, and I so appreciate that. I do not take it for granted. I will not delay any further. You know, I like to maximize every second of every minute in this hour that we have together. I'm going to need you to like, and share. Share, and share. Do that for me, please. Share. Okay. I know y'all are on your toes in the fire. That's what we are talking about today. In the fire. My first exciting question to you is, what do you do when everyone around you is bowing down and your spirit is telling you to stand? What do you do? Have you found yourself in that kind of situation where everyone around you is bowing down, yet your spirit is telling you to stand? What do you do? What have you done? I'm going to need y'all to talk back to me. Indeed, I'm going to need you all to talk back to me this evening. Because if I do not feel a release to move on, I'm going to stay right where I am. The only way that I'll feel a release is if you participate, because if you participate, it lets me know you understand. And I am aware that there is a small delay for whatever reason. Live is not really is live, but there's still a delay for whatever reason. Because I notice how people respond, and I'm then way past what I already said. But all is well. We're gonna get through this. So tonight, again, we are healing out loud. We are putting our healing into action. And like I did last week, I want to share with you all a story out of the Bible that I resonate with in this season of my life. And I want to introduce to some of you and remind the rest of you about the 3 young men who refused to bow, even if it meant they will have to suffer the consequences of being put into a fiery furnace. Do you know what that feels like? Do you know what it smells like? Do you know what it looks like to be put into a fiery furnace? Today, we are going to talk about standing in your truth when the pressure is on. Because we can say it all day long, I'm standing in my truth, I'm speaking in my truth. But when the pressure is on, are you standing in your truth, or is your truth being revealed? You'll catch that tomorrow if you didn't catch it right now. DM me tomorrow and we could talk about it. So I want to take my time. There is a king named Nebuchadnezzar. Play duck, duck, goose until y'all get up. We said we are moving by discipline, not motivation. I know that's right. We are not moving based upon how we feel. Discipline over motivation. I'm going to run that back one of these days, definitely. Anyway, there's the king named Nebuchadnezzar. He was the king of Babylon, known for his conquest of Jerusalem and the exile of Jews. And now, I'm not going to give you all the information. It's so exciting and captivating that I want you to go and research for yourself and read on your own. But I'm going to give you enough information to provoke your faith, to challenge you in your faith, challenge you in your healing. Yes, I will. So back to King Nebuchadnezzar. The golden statue is attached to this king. He created a massive golden statue in the plain of Dora and commanded all the officials and subjects to bow down and worship it. The command to bow, we're going to explore that. Anyone who refused would be thrown into a blazing furnace. Now, I just explained to you about this king and what he had implemented. And this command that he had implemented was for the officials and subjects alike to bow down to this statue, this golden statue. Before we get into it, I'm going to bring up the 3 Hebrew boys who happens to have my attention today. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Now, I can pronounce that. That is their given names when they made the transformation. They were originally named, and I'm going to do my best to pronounce these names, but their original names, remember, I did a segment, there is power in a name. Remember that. I'm going to run that back too. But anyway, Shadrach's name was Hananiah, Meshach, Mishael, and Abednego, Azariah, respectively. They were young Hebrew men taken captive to Babylon during the during the reign of King Nebuchadnezzar II. The king sought to assimilate them into Babylonian culture. Remember, this is not their culture. Renaming them and training them in the language and literature of that said culture. So they were taken out of their natural, what they knew, and programmed and conditioned to think another way. We're going somewhere with this. But what's so intriguing about these three Hebrew boys is their response to the king. They said, our God can deliver us. We serve a God that can do all things but fail. We serve a God that can deliver us out of this situation. But here's a but. But even if he doesn't, we still will not bow. My question to you is the same question that I had to ask myself. What does your yes look like, and who are you giving it to? See, most of us, when we get something taken away, if our electricity go out or we get a flat tire, anything can disrupt our intentions and we are falling apart. But my question to you is, whatever that thing, whatever your fire is, and I'm telling you, I am in a fire. I've been in many fires spiritually. My question to you are, what are the golden statues that you are bowing down to today? Is it your emotions? Is it your past pain? I don't know what your golden the representation of your statue, if you even have one, but I know through my own personal process, my own growth and development, I realized there was a time that I worshiped my own emotions. What does that look like when I am surrendering to how I emotionally feel? And so now I'm making decisions based upon how I feel and not based upon what I know. Most of us, we chasing money, we chasing fame, we're distracted by popular opinion, fear of rejection, social media validation, toxic relationships, silence, and injustice. See, we want to weaponize everything. Yes, we have the right to remain silent, but you got to know when to practice that right. And you also got to know when to speak up. And only you can determine that. Only you know that. But I'm asking you to ask yourself, to examine yourself even right now. What is that thing? I'm doing a faith check. This is healing in action. What is that thing that is consuming you? What is that thing that is distracting you? What is that thing that is causing you to be stagnated and fearful? What is that thing that tells you that you're not? What is that thing that you are allowing to consume you? See, for these three Hebrew boys, it was the fiery furnace. Well, it wasn't even that. It was the threat of being put into a fiery furnace if I don't bow down to these things, to this statue in their case, but in our case, in modern times, you know what it is. As the man, as a woman think of in his or her heart, so is she. And so is he. You know what's in your heart. You know what you worship. You know the idols. that you put before the God of your understanding. Nobody can tell you that. Nobody can be honest about that but you. Your statue might not be gold. The pressure to bow is still real. Ask me how I know. Because if you are succumbing to the struggles, to the hardships of life, if you are giving up, if you are in a posture of complaining, if you are in a posture of being overly emotional, if you are making decisions based upon only what you think, feel, and believe, and you're not factoring other people and circumstances, we got a problem. Remember, we don't live on an island alone. So again, I'm asking you, what is your golden statue? And only you can answer that. Let's talk about the fire as it relates to the 3 Hebrew boys. Faith did not stop them from entering the fire. See, they didn't have a choice, but today we do. It's about choices. And in this case, we're like comparing apples to oranges, because during this time, it was either you do what I am commanding you to do, or your life is eradicated. Ain't no questions. But today, you are an independent thinker. You choose what you think, feel, and believe. You do. Nobody else. As an individual, you are responsible today. So what is the representation in your life of the golden statue? Because the 3 Hebrew boys didn't have a faith issue. Read the story. But even in this particular story, something powerful happened. If you read the story, when they were in the fiery furnace, there was a 4th presence with them. Let's talk about the healing moment. See, I walked you through the fire. Their faith did not stop them from entering the fire, because why? They had the attitude. Here's how radical my faith is. And not even radical. This is what I know to be true. The God that I serve can get me out of this. I believe that wholeheartedly. But if he chooses not to, I still refuse to bow, which means I am willing to endure whatever I need to endure to protect my integrity, to protect my spiritual relationship, my spiritual connection. I will not compromise that. Not for your commandments, not for what you think, feel, and believe I should do. I know that God can do the impossible, but if he chooses not to, I'm going to bless him anyhow with my decisions. I'm telling you, I've been through some stuff, and it don't take long for me. I was reminded as I was reading this story. My question to you is, what pressures are you facing right now? And see, like I shared last week, one of the pressures that I'm facing is these blood clots. God, why they keep showing up? Why does my body still have to go through blood issues? See, that's my pressure. Where in your life are you bowing down. Because for a couple days, I fell victim to my physical issues because I didn't like it. I fussed, even said a few curse words because I was angry until I realized, do I serve myself? Do I change myself? Do I fix myself? And I was reminded last week when I shared with y'all about the women with the woman with the issue of blood. And I became desperate for healing. And I believe that in my studies, because I'm trying to figure it out, and I need God to answer me quickly. And in order to hear from God, I gotta get in his word. What does standing look like to you? See, during this time with the 3 Hebrew boys, the officials and the subjects, they were bowing down because they did not want to get thrown in the fiery furnace. See, they was comfortable with their lifestyle and what they had going on. They didn't want to, they compromised their integrity. They compromised their faith. They compromised for whatever reason. Because fear isn't the only thing that holds us captive. I'm not going to pretend to think I know what they were going through. But what I can tell you today, I refuse to bow down to the pressures of life. When I get a phone call and I hear something unpleasant, I refuse to bow down to it. Why? Because I recognize today, right now, in this moment, I say it all the time. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. If I believe that the God that I serve can do all things but fail, what is the issue, Carlita? Pusher. I know it hurt. I know it don't look right. I know it don't feel good. But are you going to bow down to that? Or are you going to bow down in the fact that you know the God that you serve can heal you right now? But if he so choose not to, I'm going to serve you anyhow. I want to talk to you, that person, because sometimes we get distracted. See, we got choices. What are we doing with our choices? Are we being intentional with our choices? We only get 24 hours out of a day. I don't know what your fiery furnace look like, but I know what mine look like. And I refuse to bow down. Not necessarily because I know God will heal me, because I know that he can. And it is a difference. You really have to make peace within your heart, within your soul, that God is. Push me to a place where no matter what, God, I trust you. Create in me a clean heart and renew a right spirit in me. Why? Because I can't wait for the day I hear, well done, my good and faithful servant. Why? Because I don't want to serve my emotions. I can't do two. I can't do both. I got to make a decision. I'm telling y'all, I'm walking y'all through my process. Here's the impact. They say bow, but my spirit says stand. Let me remove they out of the way. My flesh says give up, but my spirit says get up. My flesh says, you done all this time. Girl, sit down and live your life and be good. And my spirit tells me too much is given, much is required. I don't know who this is for besides me, but I'm telling you, it blessed my whole life. When I am reminded that in me is the power and the authority to say no. And I'm saying no to my own self, my own flesh. To deny your flesh is a big deal. It ain't easy to do, but it can be done. And so as I deny my flesh, I got to pick up my cross. See, I know where my help comes from. It don't come from people first. Understand that. We got it backwards. They said conform, but purpose says expand. I don't know who this for. The fire was hot. Can you imagine the fire being put into a fiery furnace? The fire was hot. But guess what? These three Hebrew boys, their faith was hotter. You'll catch it tomorrow if you didn't catch that right now. And if you need me to explain it, DM me. And I will be glad to explain that to you. I don't want you to miss it. When you know who walks with you, the furnace becomes your testimony. So my furnace right now is these blood clots, my health. That's my furnace. That's my fiery furnace. Am I going to bow down? Am I going to give up? Am I going to allow myself to stay in depression? Am I going to throw myself a pity party? Am I going to bow down to an illness that doesn't belong to me? Or am I going to get up every day and appreciate the fact that I still got the activity of my limbs and I still want to worship God in spirit and in truth? See, we don't want to have these kind of conversations. We want to package the information up so that it can be pretty. And I'm saying going through this ain't pretty. I found myself yelling, screaming, trying to understand. Why me? Why do I have to go through this again? Why not you? You creating platforms and you everywhere your feet go, you are making that your stage. You are promoting healing out loud. How can you permit that if you're not? How can you promote that if you are not willing to be honest as you go through your process? And I'm telling you, from my heart to yours, I am declaring over my own body, over my own mind, that I shall live and not die. I will continue to declare the works of the Lord. Not even, don't get me wrong, God, please heal me. Take the pain, the aches, all of it. Take it away. But even if you decided not to, I'm still going to continue on. I'm still going to show up. I'm still going to give my very best. Why? Because I know who I'm walking with. And see, some of us can be so arrogant. Some of us can get above ourselves. We need a lesson on humility. And for me, this is how God is keeping me grounded. My life is not my own. So give me the wisdom and I'll do what I need to do so that I can remain healthy. So that I can, when I speak to your people, I'm speaking in truth. I'm sharing in truth. Why? Because that is what causes. That is what provokes people to understand the importance of taking ownership over your life, over your decisions. Choose ye this day whom you're going to serve. Can't serve people. Greater the pain, greater the passion. When the three Hebrew boys, we're talking about breakthrough. We're talking about breakthrough. When the three Hebrew boys came out the fiery furnace, I encourage y'all to read this story. I'm telling you, it is some fascinating stories in the Bible. It really is. And these are stories that I've read many years ago, and I've even taught lessons on some of these stories. I find myself going back to, but it just hit me differently in this season. And it's helping me heal. It's helping me stay grounded. I'm telling you, it's something special. Remember last week we talked about connection. This is how you get connected. In the story, the three Hebrew boys, when they came out of the fire, their hair wasn't burnt. Their clothes wasn't burnt. They didn't even smell like smoke. I'm telling you, go read the story. They didn't look like what they've been through. Is that safe to say? That the three Hebrew boys, they were put in the fiery furnace, but remember, there was a fourth presence. This is where I remind some of us leaders. When I say practice your right to remain silent, I'm not saying it because it's cute. I'm saying it because it can save somebody's life. We're talking about faith building. It's through your testimony, not your isms. Not how smart and how intellectual you are. It's your testimony. Can we get back to that? Can you share with me what did God do for you lately? Has God proven himself to be strong and mighty in your life? Do you feel a presence around you? Do you know what that feels like? When there is a presence. Because I'm crazy enough in my faith to believe because the three Hebrew boys was operating in their faith, because they were spiritually grounded. I'm foolish in my thinking to believe that they knew the presence of God was there. And because the presence of God was there, they tapped into that and they were protected. So with me, I know that it's hot. But if you just hold on, Carlita, I know the pain get intense. I know your mind get crowded with thoughts. I know you don't understand everything about the process. But if you just tap into the presence, I'm telling you, that fiery furnace becomes your testimony. What we're looking at is not necessarily what you went through. We're looking at how you got through it. Did you compromise? Did you cut corners? Did you lie? Were you dishonest? Did you compromise your integrity? I know this is not something easy. I know it's difficult to talk about, to admit. And that's why I'm not asking you to admit nothing to me. I'm not asking you to confess nothing to me. Who am I? I'm confessing my stuff to y'all. Why? Because my very healing is dependent upon it. I need for y'all to understand that the healing that I'm talking about takes work. I don't wake up, I don't go to sleep and wake up and bam, it's done. No, when I'm finished my responsibility, I am in here studying. I am in here seeking God's face. Why? Because that is the source of my supply. Why? Because I'm saying, God, I believe that you can heal me at any given time. But if you so choose not to, I'm still not going to bow. I'm still not going to give up. I'm still going to lead the charge. I'm still going to heal out loud. I'm still going to affirm. I'm still going to walk into this in this calling, because I recognize that my life isn't my own. It isn't. And because I trust you. I trust you. I'm yours and you are mine. I'm telling you, this is stretching me. It's stretching me. I refuse to live in fear. I refuse to live in the unknown. I believe that anything and everything is possible. You just got to tap into it. Signs and wonders follow me for the day, all the days of my life. I recognize even right now, going through what I'm going through, I am still a walking, talking, moving, breathing miracle, because I remember the last time you brought me out of it. And the time before that, you delivered me. Again, I don't know what your statues are. I don't know what the representations in your life is. And I don't pretend to. But I want to encourage you to examine your heart. I want to encourage you to really seek God's face in all things. In all things. In all things. You may be in a fire right now. You, because I know I ain't the only one. I can't. All right, chat. All right, Pusher community. I need y'all to talk back to me. It's cool if I'm the only one. But am I the only one that acknowledged? The only one that is faced with a fiery furnace? Am I the only one? Am I the only one that need to do a faith check every now and then? Am I the only one? I'm cool. But I refuse to believe that I am the only one that sometimes have to have hard conversations. The fire is hot. The fire don't feel good. You find yourself, God, why? Well, God, again? Or am I the only one to have conversations with God like this? Because I talk to God like I'm talking to y'all. And one might say that I'm a little bit too raw and open. But understand, if you still got oxygen in your body, if you still have the activity of your limbs, if you are still in your right mind, even right now, and I want you to examine your heart. We're talking about healing now. It's time to put our healing in action. Yes. 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 In all things, in all things, in all things, in all things. I'm not, I like I said last week, when I'm done, I'm done. Again, I don't know what your fire is. You know. And like Mrs. Prince says, you have the responsibility to identify that fire and put a name on it, and then make a decision. Are you going to bow down to that? Or are you going to be like the 3 Hebrew boys and declare your faith? Are you going to be like the 3 Hebrew boys and talk to that thing? I know God can get me out of this, but if you choose not to, I still will not bow. I'm still going to stand. And then sometimes, every now and then, we might need a friend or two to hold us up. You ain't got to go through it alone. Yes, hallelujah. Anyway, that is my thing. I am telling my every time I declare that every time I feel an unpleasant emotion, I receive an unpleasant thought. Hallelujah. Anyhow, comes out of my mouth. Why? Because that will prevent me from slipping to even contemplate on bowing. Oh, my. Oh, my. See, we talking about faith in action. We talking about putting our healing in action. I'm still going through my fire, but hallelujah. Anyway, I can see myself on the other side of this thing, unscathed. Honey, you didn't already won half the battle. When you can see yourself on the other side of that thing, oh my God. When you can see yourself on the other side of that thing, now it's time to grind. It's time to work. It's time to make some decisions, because you know you can see. You can see clear. Them 3 boys was unscathed. When I look back over my life, good God Almighty, why am I complaining? Why am I allowing myself to get all overwhelmed with emotions when I remember, and I am reminding myself that no matter what I go through, I will not bow down. Will not. God, give me wisdom. Trust in my spirit to lead me. Why? Because it's discipline over motivation. Discipline over motivation. See, when you have disciplined faith, you are aware that it has nothing to do with your emotions, how you feel. You're not going to get that healing revelation through your emotions. I'm sorry. You're just not. Why? Because when you are emotional and some of us who are stimulated quickly, some of us can, I know for myself, let me speak for myself. It doesn't take much for me to get overstimulated. When people talk too much and they are rambling and they're saying the same thing over and over again with no purpose, no intent, they're doing repetition with not for you to remember. They are just talking just to be talking. That overwhelms me. It overstimulates me. This weekend, it was a lot of people. I was overstimulated when everybody came together. And that shut me down. I set my high parts down and was quiet for the rest of the time because I am aware. I am self-aware in most areas of my life. I can catch myself from falling because I could have had an anxiety attack and just panicked. But because I'm choosing not to bow, I'm choosing not to use these things as a handicap, as an excuse. God, give me wisdom. I sit my tail down. Now, I was a little hard-headed, but now I'm sitting my tail down. When my body say rest, I'm resting. I'm asking God for wisdom. I got to take care of this temple. Faith check. What we doing? What we doing? We can't keep showing up just to be talking, just to be talking. And y'all know I got problems with my oxygen, and I need to conserve my oxygen, which means I ain't talking just for my health. Because every word that utters out of my mouth, it is getting pushed out. Why? Because there's something inside of me that prevents me from talking regular. I am affected. It is a strain in my lungs. There's a pull I can feel, especially when I get overly excited. But yet, I talk through it anyhow. Why? Because I trust you. God, I trust you. God, I trust you. Sometimes we don't even know the words to say. We don't know the prayers to pray when we're going through the fire. But for me, God, I trust you is enough. God, I need you. Sometimes it's enough. Sometimes I find myself moaning. It's enough. One thing I appreciate about God, he takes everything about me. Because sometimes I don't want to talk. Sometimes I can't talk. But the moans, the cries, God hears that and he responds to that. I find comfort in his presence. So I want to encourage you to tap in. Everybody says they want peace. Everybody says they want joy. Well, tap in, go inward. Go inward. And you are going to feel a presence that is not based upon your emotional feelings. The presence that you feel will be internal. It will be a physical feeling, not an emotional feeling. That's why most people that says that they have an awakening account, they can't really explain it. They don't know how to put it into words because it's not an emotional feeling. Ask me how I know. I've been in his presence. It isn't rocket science. Quiet yourself long enough to get in God's presence because he's already there. It's us who have to get into an alignment. Before you pick up the phone, call on God. Test the theory. Whatever you're going through, however you're going through it, just take a moment God, I trust you. God, I need you. I need you to show up. I need wisdom. I need some sense of direction. I need to be strengthened in my faith, whatever it is. You have to say it out loud. One, so that you can hear it and receive it. What I'm going to do with it? Besides pray. But I can't do nothing with it other than pray. So how about you take ownership? You take responsibility for you. And those of us that find ourselves responsible for other people, we got children, we got spouses. Understand first that your journey is your journey. However, when you have chose to commit, if you have a child, you have a spouse, you have made a decision to commit all of you. Which means in this, we have to find a way to balance this thing out. Some of us are walking around lopsided. Some of us are walking around obese, full of information, and don't want to give it away. Why are we so greedy and selfish? I don't know what your fiery furnace is. But I need you to figure it out if one exists. Identify it. And then make a decision. Make a decision. As I learn and as I grow, I'm always excited to share. And so this evening was just me basically finishing it out. Inviting you all into my space, my intimate space. To give you the information that I've been feeding myself. That I have been studying, that I have been reading. Why? Because I was in a fiery furnace. I refused to bow. It doesn't take much for me. It doesn't. I pray that you are encouraged. I pray that I said something to provoke thought. I pray that your faith that you are encouraged in your faith. And understand we're not running a race, but understand this. We don't know the time or the hour, so let's get right now. While we have the opportunity. Because we don't know the next hour. And so because we're just activating in blind faith. Blind faith is, I don't know how it's going to happen. But I trust that it will happen. My homeboys, shout outs to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I thank those 3 Hebrew boys for giving me life lessons because I definitely connected with the story. And I encourage you all to go and read it or just find yourself in there. I'm quite sure that there's many stories that you can relate to. We're talking about connection. We're talking about building relationship. You want to understand who you are. You want to understand your purpose. You want to understand which way to go. You want to understand how to make sound decisions. You'll find wisdom. You'll find your answers right there. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I really, really do. We have some exciting things coming up in the PUS'HER community, so stay tuned. We're going to have a virtual talent show, people. So if you know somebody that got talent, let them know we are having a virtual talent show, but there can be only one winner. We all are winners, but there can be only one that walks away with a monetary gift. And so if you yourself or you know someone that has some talent, let them know that we are circulating a flyer all throughout social media. repost the flyer if you already have it. And if you did, repost it again. Send it to your network of friends and family. One way of teaching us how to deal with our personal pains and how to not respond, to not allow your emotions to lead you. We use our talents as coping tools that helps us overcome, that helps center us. And so I've just been on this thing of helping individuals tap into their talent, their creativity, and finding healing through art. And so that is what we're doing, finding healing through art. It doesn't always have to be talked about. It doesn't always have to come in a form of crying and tears. Your healing can come just by you operating in your gifts and in your talents, but it has to be intentional. And so that is what we are providing. And so anybody that you know that will be interested, please share the information with them. Also, I need y'all to help me let's pump up this healing 1 million people, one person at a time. If you need the link, the link is actually in the description. So if you don't have the link, I need you to copy and paste the link that is in the description. There's always something in the description. Y'all never go in the description and read it. But anyway, if you go into the description, you will see the link to the healing 1 million people. If you yourself already taken the pledge, then send it to other people that you know that will benefit from this, and encourage them to come here next week. Next week, I have a few things lined up. So just bear with me. Just bear with me. I have a few things lined up for the Pusher community. So just hold on. Raven Mary did win a monetary gift. I will get that to you soon, because she was the first one that showed up and said forward ever, backwards never. Y'all never know when I'm going to show up and I want to give gifts. So Raven Mary, when the next time you come back to the Pusher community, you can let them know what you got or not. That's totally up to you. But let them know you got it, though. Let them know that it's real and that you got your gift. You're definitely going to receive one. And then meantime, between time, people, I am out of here. I have nothing else. I will not force myself to come up with nothing else. That is all I got. A sister is tired. I pray that I said something that blessed you on this evening. If not, I am blessed and I am good and tired. And so I got to get ready for bed. But I thank you all for tapping in. I really do. I thank you all for going through my own healing journey with me. That's what this is about. And sometimes I just got to get it out. And I thank you all for being receptive and allowing me to heal alongside of you all. My body is definitely feeling better. The swelling has went down. I am not complaining. I am very, very, very humbly appreciative for all the support, all the love. I appreciate y'all. I really do. Y'all don't understand. And yeah, that's another story for another day. I ain't gonna get us all emotional or whatever, but you know who you are. I thank you for the phone calls. I thank you for the text. I thank you for everything. But you all know that this is March and I am geared up for my twin brother any day now. So I am refocusing. I am building my stamina back because I'm probably going to need all my energy the day that I see him, because I probably will be a mess. So pray for me as I continue to pray for you. I love you, and there's nothing, I mean, absolutely nothing you can do about it. It is your girl Pusher. If you're not pushing forward, you're moving backwards. Say it out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. No, really say that thing out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. Have you gotten your copy of It Takes One to Know One workbook and journal and people pusher? No, then travel over to pusherlife.org, go to the author's page, and you will find It Takes One to Know One and People Pusher. Come tap in.